All right. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you here, and I think today's topic is one that is going to make a real tangible difference in how your office. Hmm. Okay. Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you here, and I think today's topic is one that's going to make a real tangible difference in your office experience using temps on TempStars. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so for those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. And my name is Shelby. I'm the lead engagement specialist here at TempStars. And I want to start today with a scenario that might feel a little familiar. So you've posted your shift, you've found a great temp, the booking is confirmed, and then you kind of just wait for them to show up. Sound a little familiar? So here's the thing, the work doesn't stop at the booking. How your office prepares for a temp's arrival has a direct impact on the quality of care your patients receive, the temp's experience in your office, and your ability to attract and retain the best talent on TempStars. So today I want to walk you through kind of the steps and the strategies here of what's going to make or break your success on getting good temps in your office. Okay, so here's a quick look at what we're covering today. We got 8 topics, all practical, all actionable, and all directly applicable to your next shift. So we're starting with why preparation is your key to success, then moving into the warm welcome and orientation, workplace setup and software access, practice specific cheat sheets, communication before and during the shift, PPE tools and office environment, and then, sorry about that. And then we'll wrap up with your pre-shift checklist and key takeaways. And by the end of today, I want you to feel like you have a clear and practical playbook in your hands, one that makes every temp's first hour feel like they've worked with you for years. And I'm sure that sounds great to everyone. All right, let's take it from the top. So let's start with why, because I always think that it's important to understand why something matters before we talk about how to do it. So the way you prepare for a temp says everything about how you run your practice. And the best temps, the ones that you really want to come back, they notice everything. They notice whether there's someone at the front to greet them. They notice whether their workplace is set up or whether you're scrambling to find supplies for them. They notice whether they feel like they're part of the team or like a stranger who just wandered in. So why does preparation matter so much? Prepared offices will attract the top rated temps who genuinely want to come back into your office. A smooth first shift leads to a favorite status, and that's your reliable bench of go to temps who already know how your office is set up and how it functions. So, temps who feel supported deliver better patient care. There's less scrambling on shift day, which means less stress for your whole team. And a reputation for being a great office to a temp, it gets your shifts filled faster. And there's one thing that I really want to highlight here. So, processes, policies, and other important factors should never be left for a temp to assume. So, make sure the clear expectations, that means fewer disappointments on both sides. If there's something specific about your office and how it operates that a temp needs to know, you need to tell them. Don't assume that they'll figure it out. The office that's prepared well are the ones that never struggle to find that great talent. And that's exactly what we want for every office on TempStars. Okay, so let's get into the practical material, starting with the first 15 minutes, because those first 15 minutes set the tone for every shift and they're completely within your control. And remember, this extra time can be built into your shift when you post it. So just be mindful to allot for that. Okay. So what does a great welcome look like? It starts before the temp even walks in through the door. You know their name, so use it. Greet them warmly and by name the moment that they arrive. That small gesture will immediately tell them that they are expected and valued. Then give them a brief but thorough office tour. Show them where everything is, the bathroom, the break room, the supply closet, the sterilization area. Don't assume that they'll find it on their own. Then introduce them to everyone in the office that they're going to be working with, every single person. Being introduced to the team immediately shifts the temp from feeling like an outsider to feeling a part of the group. Include them in the morning team huddle if you have one, and this is huge. It gives them the context that they need for the day and signals that their presence is valued. And discuss break arrangements, lunch plans up front. It sounds very simple, but temps often feel very awkward about this, so take the guesswork away. Temps who feel welcomed and included from the moment they walk in perform better. They stay longer and they'll come back. So treat every temp as a valued professional because that's exactly what they are. Okay, so nothing slows down a shift faster than a temp who can't access the systems or find their supplies. And this one is entirely preventable with just a little bit of preparation the day before. So on the workspace side of things, have it clean, organized before they even arrive. Ergonomic seating and proper lighting should be ready to go. Instruments, supplies, they should be stocked and accessible. And if you know your temp is left-handed, accommodate for that. It shows you paid attention to their profile and it makes them more effective from the first minute. On the software side of things and the logins, I really want to emphasize this. Prepare these before the shift. That means practice management software, digital charting systems, x-ray software, anything else that they'll need access to. And my suggestion is to test every single login the day before, not the morning of. The day before, just keep that in your head. A failed login at 8 a.m. costs everyone time and sets a genuinely frustrating tone for the whole day. We hear about this in support regularly, and it's so easy to be avoided. So a temp who can hit the ground running from the first minute is a temp who delivers exceptional care all day. And that's good for your patients, good for your team, and good for your reputation on TempStars. Okay, the practice specific cheat sheets. So this one's probably my personal favorite tip in today's entire webinar. And it is one of the most underutilized preparation tools that we see. So every office does things a little different. Your x-ray settings, your charting abbreviations, your sterilization workflow, your patient communication preferences. So none of these are really universal. And when a temp walks in without any of that context, they have to either ask constantly, guess, or do things the way that they were trained somewhere else, which may not be how you want them to be done. So a practice-specific cheat sheet solves all of that. So here's what to include. Your x-ray protocols with your specific settings, positioning preferences, your charting guidelines with your office-specific notation and abbreviations, and a summary of your office services and procedures. Your team contacts, who to ask for what, emergency contacts, your sterilization protocols and workflow, and your patient communication preferences. And here's the reality. A well-prepared cheat sheet, it might take you 20 minutes to create, but it'll save you hours of confusion, interruptions, frustration over the course of the entire day. But more than that, it tells your temp that you respect their time and that you've set them up to succeed. And that message will matter more than you might think. Okay. So preparation doesn't end when the temp walks through the door. It continues throughout the entire day. And this slide is really about two things. It's setting the stage before they arrive and staying engaged while they're there. So before the shift starts, clarify the day's schedule and patient types. If there's a particularly complex patient or a special circumstance coming up, tell them. Communicate your office culture, the pace, preferences, and set clear expectations for the role up front. What do you need from them today specifically? And then during the shift, and this is the part I really want offices to lean into, is just check in periodically, not just when something goes wrong. A quick check in mid-morning or after a patient block shows your temp that you're present and that you care about how their day is going. Be available and approachable for questions. Offer constructive feedback professionally and kindly if needed, and provide support and guidance where it's helpful. The offices that communicate clearly and consistently are the ones that temps rave about and come back to. And in a world where great temps are in high demand, that reputation is pretty priceless. Okay, so beyond preparation, specifically, there are three other areas that directly impact your temp's ability to perform at their best. And I want to make sure we cover all of them. So, PPP and infection control. Stock PPP in multiple sizes, gloves, masks, goggles, jackets, all of it in multiple sizes, not just mediums. It's a non negotiable for a safety and compliance standpoint, and ensure your infection control systems are up to date. Verify that sterilization equipment is functional and barriers are in place, and maintain your equipment regularly. Autoclaves, water lines, suction. Tools and equipment. Provide sharp, functional instruments with an adequate rotation supply. This is essentially important for our hygienists, right? So, ergonomic clinician chairs with proper mobility, functional overhead lighting, and left and right handed accommodations where needed. An office environment. So this one's a little bit on the softer side, but it matters enormously. Create a welcoming, supportive, and professional atmosphere. Integrate your temp into the team. Never make them feel isolated or like they're just a fill in for a seat. Foster respectful communication at every level. And a well equipped, welcoming office isn't just good for your temp, it's good for your patients and good for your whole team. The environment you create reflects the standard of care you deliver. All right. So here it is. This is your go-to pre-shift checklist broken down into three simple phases: the day before, the morning of, and when they arrive. So the day before, confirm the shift with your temp, prepare those login credentials, print or prepare your cheat sheets, and review the schedule and patient needs. Notify your team that a temp is going to be joining them. Make sure that everyone's aware. The morning of, set up the workplace, test every software login, stock those PPE and supplies, check equipment functionality, prepare any welcome materials. And then when they arrive, make sure you greet them warmly by using their name. Provide the office tour, introduce them to the team, review the cheat sheet together, not just handing it to them. Show them the workplace, the supplies, provide those login credentials, and clarify the day's expectations. The offices that work through a checklist like this never scramble the shift on the shift day. They just deliver. And that's exactly the kind of office that attracts the best temps on TempStars. And here's a little bonus for you, because I know that juggling a webinar like today and trying to take the notes at the same time is a lot to ask. So if you scan the QR code right here on the slide, it will take you directly to our knowledge base article. And that's going to cover pretty much everything that I've talked about today in just a little bit more detail. It's a fantastic resource to just bookmark and share with your team. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the article, you'll find a printable PDF version of the pre-shift checklist that we just looked at, and it's completely ready to print. And here's my personal recommendation is to print it and get it laminated and keep it at your front desk or in your operatory. That way, every time a new temp comes in, you can work through it systematically and make sure nothing gets missed. It takes the guesswork pretty much out completely, and it signals to your temp from the very first moment that your office is organized, prepared, and professional. All right, let's bring it all home with the takeaways here, and I want you to carry with you after today. So number one, preparation is your competitive advantage. The offices that prepare well attract the best temps, they fill the shifts faster, and build a reliable roster of favorites. Number two, the first 15 minutes matter the most. A warm welcome, a quick tour, and a team introduction sets the tone for the entire day. It costs nothing and it changes everything. Number three, those cheat sheets and logins save everyone time. Prepare them the day before, not the morning of. Test the logins, print the cheat sheet. Do it once and you can reuse it every single time. Number four, communicate before and during the shift. Set clear expectations up front and check in throughout the day. The offices that do this are the ones that the temps keep coming back to. Number 5, a well-equipped, welcoming office speaks for itself. Great temps want to work in great environments. Be that office and they will keep coming back. And there's a bonus here. After the shift is completed, make sure you approve the invoices and get them paid as soon as possible, and mark them as favorites if you want them to come back. Create that bench of go-to temps. Okay. That brings us to the end today of all the content. I genuinely hope that this session gives you a clear, practical framework for making every temp shift at your office a great one, not just for your team, for your patients, but also for the professionals who show up to support you. And before we get into questions, I want to flag something. If your shift postings just aren't getting the responses that you'd like, or you just have questions about anything we've covered today, please grab a spot on my calendar. You can quickly scan the QR code right here on the slide, and it'll bring you to my calendar, and you can book a time that works best for you. I honestly love connecting one-on-one with our offices, and I want to make sure that you're getting the most out of TempStars here. And then for any ongoing questions about today or just in general, you can always reach out to our incredible customer support team that are always available at help@tempstars.com. They truly are wonderful, and they're always willing to help. And please, please, please stay tuned for upcoming webinars. So we have topics that are coming up, and we do a webinar series, one every single month with different topics. And then we also have a library of pre-recorded webinars just like this that are available on our YouTube channel. So you would just go to YouTube and type in TempStars, click on videos, and then all the webinars from earlier this year as well as last year will be available for you to view. Otherwise, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.